All right. Next, we are going to make some Pop-Tarts. Okay, everyone's face just made the same expression. That was awesome. Okay, we probably can't say Pop-Tarts legally, so instead I should probably call them savory vegetable and cheese breakfast pastries. Toaster pastries, perhaps? Yes. Or we could just call them hand pies, right? So that's kind of a good one, right? Let me scoot down here. All right, so what I've got here is commercial pie dough. Okay, I am a terrible pie dough maker. Can't make it. There are people that make really good pie dough. Do I have someone in here? Betty, I bet it's you. No? You make really good pie dough? I think you have to have nice cold hands.
You have cold hands and you can't work it too much.
Yeah. I have warm hands. It's a mess. I have to keep things refrigerated all the time. So, but if you make great pie dough, then by all means, make your own for this. If you don't, then you can go to Kroger or Trader Joe's and get the sheets of dough and cut them out into little rectangles, like I've done here. Okay. I've also got a little bit of grated cheese. You can see it here, and this is on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Okay. What I've also got is some broccoli. Now, broccoli has started coming. Have you all gotten some broccoli? Yes. Have you all gotten too much broccoli?
A lot.
Not yet. Okay. So all this is, again, seasoned very simply with salt and pepper. There's a little bit of chive in here and a little bit of olive oil. I've cooked this probably a little further than I would usually cook broccoli, like as a side, because I want it to be a little bit softer in the dough. I don't want it to poke through the dough as much either. Okay, now that's specifically just because it's broccoli. You could use other vegetables in here, certainly. Any kinds of greens would be good. Tomato, grated carrot. What are some other things that you get a lot of? Grated turnip, grated radish. Okay, again, this is a very versatile recipe. Dough, as a rule, is a great vehicle for using any kind of vegetable, right? It doesn't have to be pie dough. You can think of beyond pies, think of tarts, think of stuffed bread, right? Dough is just sort of super versatile. Ravioli, that's made out of dough. So if you're looking for another sort of idea of what to do with your vegetables, think of ways that you can create like a little type of dumpling, or in this case, a hand pie. Okay. So what I've done is I've gone on and pre-cut these, and you could do this yourself, just getting the dough squares ready and sticking those in the freezer. Okay. Or do it as you need. All right, but you see sort of, it's just about a tablespoon. Now I'm making these really small for the class. If I were going to make these as a breakfast for myself, I'd probably make them about this big. Okay, that's going to run you a little bit, about 200 calories or so. All right, and it's a little bit of a higher fat option because of the pie dough. All right, of course, if you were trying to get a whole grain in there, they do make whole wheat pie dough. So that would be another option as well, okay? Then all I'm doing is folding over. See, that broccoli's poking through a little bit already, but that's okay. All right, and then I lost my fork. Let me grab a fork. And I'll create a seal with this fork, okay? So once you pinch your dough together, and again, this doesn't have to be perfect, but you've got a little rectangle like this, then you can take your fork and just make a nice little design here. And you would continue to do that with all of them, all right? Once they are all formed, then you would make an egg wash, which is just an egg beaten with a little bit of water. Okay, and the reason why you do that is it creates kind of a nice shininess on the pie dough. All right, you can also use milk or heavy cream to create that same effect if you don't have any eggs in the house. And then they bake in about a 400-degree oven or so until they're done, which depends on your pie dough a little bit, okay? But it's going to be about 12 to 15 minutes, okay? Again, you can put kind of any veggie in there. These are, let's see, again, very easy to make in advance, very easy to freeze. I've got some in my freezer right now, actually. I would not put them in the toaster if it's an up and down toaster.
Toaster oven.
Toaster oven only, okay? We don't want to cause a fire, okay? But these are great to bring to work, and you can bring in a whole bunch for the week, keep them, again, in like a bag or in a container in your work refrigerator. This would be a really nice lunch, too, with a little bit of a salad. Or if you're having it for breakfast, I would recommend serving it with a little bit of fruit, maybe, okay? Or maybe a smoothie, all right? Maybe even a green smoothie, which we're going to do next.